Josiane, donc c'était aujourd'hui le grand jour parce que c'était déjà votre première participation aux Jeux équestres mondiaux. À froid, là, ça fait pas si longtemps que ça que vous êtes descendu de cheval. Qu'est-ce que vous pensez?
Ah ben l'ambiance était géniale. C'est sûr que avec les spectateurs, la musique, les grands écrans, l'ambiance, comme je disais, était vraiment phénoménale. Et ça, moi, c'est quelque chose que j'aime pour pouvoir compétitionner. Ça me donne une motivation. Donc ça, j'ai vraiment bien aimé. Puis le grand, les facilités sont vraiment géniales.
Est-ce que ça change beaucoup l'ambiance des Jeux mondiaux par rapport au show traditionnel?
Ben c'est sûr qu'un peu, oui, c'est peut-être une pression un petit peu plus grande, mais honnêtement, la seconde pour moi que je rentre dans l'aréna, ma concentration va sur ce que j'ai à faire, le patron que j'ai à effectuer. Je te dirais, la pression était plus pour la préparation du cheval que pour le 5 minutes qu'on a à nous dans l'aréna.
Alors justement, si on débriefe là, le patron, comment ça s'est passé?
Mon cheval est bien rentré, était calme à moi. Les spins étaient bien. J'ai eu une petite pénalité, mon deuxième spin, à place d'arrêter exactement devant le milieu. J'ai passé le milieu un petit peu, donc ça m'a donné une pénalité. Les ronds étaient bien, les vitesses, les ralentis, ça l'a bien été. J'ai pas eu de pénalité majeure. Les stops, il a voulu courir un petit peu plus fort que moi. Donc, nos freins n'étaient pas tout à fait ajustés à cette vitesse-là, mais les rollbacks ont pu récupérer un peu la manœuvre. Puis, j'étais quand même assez satisfaite du résultat.
Est-ce que vous l'avez senti différent sur cette piste normande que de la façon dont il se comporte d'habitude?
Mais je le connais pas beaucoup. Lui, ça fait seulement 5 semaines que je l'ai, ce cheval. Donc, j'ai seulement pu le compétitionner 2 fois. Une fois un petit peu plus vite et l'autre fois plus lent pour le préparer justement pour les Jeux équestres. Donc, il était quand même assez nouveau pour moi. Donc, je peux pas vraiment le comparer à d'autres compétitions vraiment de haut, je dirais, plus de stress ou de vitesse. Mais non, je te dirais la seule différence, je te dirais, ce serait les grands écrans au milieu de l'aréna. Ça a été quelque chose qui a vraiment fallu que je l'habitue. Hier soir, on avait fini notre monte, tout avait bien été, puis on commençait à jouer des vidéos de juste nous qui montaient sur les... Et il s'était jamais vu sur une caméra, j'imagine, en gros écran, il a eu peur. Donc ça a été quelque chose à les habituer parce qu'ils comprennent, ça leur a fait peur de voir ça, mais à part ça, non, ça a bien été.
Avant d'arriver, quel était votre objectif, celui auquel vous rêviez même peut-être secrètement, et est-ce que vous le considérez rempli après avoir fait ce premier patron?
Mais c'est sûr, tu peux pas compétitionner sans pas vouloir gagner. Ça donne rien, hein? C'est sûr que je suis réaliste avec le calibre de mon cheval et chaque manœuvre. Donc moi, mon but personnel, c'était d'avoir le maximum de chaque manœuvre que mon cheval est capable d'effectuer. Si on commence à demander trop à nos chevaux, en bout de ligne, ils donnent moins. Donc moi, mon but personnel, c'était vraiment d'avoir le maximum de chaque manœuvre que mon cheval est capable de me donner sans grosse pénalité. Parce que les pénalités, c'est vraiment quelque chose qui va jouer beaucoup en fin de compte quand tu additionnes ton score. Donc, c'est sûr, j'aurais bien aimé avoir un petit peu un plus haut score pour avancer en la finale, mais je vais peut-être avoir une chance à la consolation. Donc, je vais me reprendre encore avec un petit peu plus de passion dans la deuxième fois, puis essayer d'avoir un meilleur score pour essayer de faire la finale. Mais j'aurais bien aimé avoir un meilleur score pour aider l'équipe à être sur le podium.
Ben, en tout cas, merci beaucoup et puis bravo pour une première participation aux Jeux équestres mondiaux. Merci. It was your very first big show with this horse, all right? So, how do you feel now it's over?
I feel really, really good. My score is being held right now. In my second spin, my horse lost his footing a little bit. He was spinning quite hard and he slipped down. And I don't know if I bumped it for sure, but the horn kind of hit my hand. So I'm hoping it's just a bump and it's nothing, but it could cost me a lot of points. Other than that, I thought he was really, really good. I spun hard, circled nice. You always want a couple things to be better, but that's competition and that's competitors. But overall, I was thrilled with my horse.
Before coming here, what was your goal exactly?
To win.
Good. So, and I suppose that started the pattern with this mistake at the spin. It's quite difficult for your mind, I mean. No?
Absolutely, you know, and that's part of learning at this level is to overcome that. And to be honest, I really forgot about it. I let it go. I left it in the center, and off I went. And I thought, I'm just going to put the rest of it together and make my country proud. So, yeah.
Okay. And what was your best feeling of the pattern?
The first spin, because walking in, my horse got a little anxious and a little up. That's a high-powered horse, and he's very sensitive. And I knew he's had great training and lots of experience, but I didn't know how this crowd would rattle him. That screen is big. So I felt him come up and get up, and then I squeezed him and just talked to him, and he really rallied for me. So my first spin, I thought, okay, I'm not sure how this is going to go, but I believe in my horse, and I just spun him hard. And he spun hard the first way. So that was probably, then I was like, okay, here we go. And so the rest of it, you know, my first stop was the only thing I actually didn't like in my first slowdown. Wasn't as good as it can be, but other than that, I was extremely happy.
You were the flag bearer last evening for the opening ceremony. I think it was a great emotion for you.
Oh yes, it was incredible. I got a call in Aachen that I had been nominated and then chosen as flag bearer, and it brought tears to my eyes. It's such an honor to carry the flag for Canada, and to walk into the stadium with so much energy, and the French people were so wonderful and welcoming. Is something you never ever forget, and it was an incredible moment. And even standing next to the other flag bearers from the other countries was also extremely special, just being a part of that whole experience.
What about the team, the dressage team here, for Canada here in Caen? Is there a good team spirit?
It's really good, actually, really good. We have a wonderful group with us, not only our riders, but we have a mental coach with us. We have Desi Dillingham, our special advisor, Christine Peters, and Vicki Winters, our chef de keep. And it's wonderful. I think for me, I think it's one of the best experiences ever as part of a team, and we all get along really well and support each other and joke with each other, which is really important in a high pressure situation like this. And I really know it has to do with this whole team behind us. It's great.
So with such a team, I suppose that your goal is to be better than ever.
I sure hope so. Yes, I sure hope so. That's our goal. And I think we have, you know, a strong team, and we're all on fairly equal grounds, and we've all had our personal bests around the same score. And yeah, I hope we all can achieve that day of competition.
We do remember that in the Olympics, it didn't go that well for Canada, but in Lexington you were 7th. What's the goal for you to be? To reach, for you to be happy this time for the team and for individual?
I would say for the team, if we can have a 7th place or better, we would be extremely happy. I mean, it's always really tough competition at WEG. They have these super horses these days, just such quality. And so to be 7th or better among this caliber of competition would be a huge victory for Canada. And that it's not our long-term goal. I mean, our long-term goal with this team that Desi Dillingham's put together is higher than that, is medals. At this point, if we can get 7th or higher, we would be really happy. I mean, individually, for me, I would absolutely be thrilled, and it is my goal to make this Grand Prix special, and then from there make the freestyle. And I know that it will be really hard, like really hard. And if I don't have my personal best each day, it won't happen. But I'm going into this competition striving for that.
Can we think, because we all know that in 4 years the World Equestrian Games are going to take place in Canada, in Bromont. So do you think that these games are a kind of preparation for the Canadian team to be on the podium in Bromont?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think that is. I know that's where we are going to go, and we have a great group, which I'm so excited about, and I think led by Desi and putting Volker Moritz, our technical advisor, and putting these people in place has been huge. It's the first time I've been in a training camp when we also had a mental coach with us, And what's been so interesting with that is I think whenever you get a big group of people together, there always might be some little conflict here or there. And having someone like that, it just helps you smooth the waters and makes the whole atmosphere very positive and very charged. And that is the atmosphere of our team here. It's very positive, very supportive, and very charged.
What about Anton, your horse? How is he? Fine, we hope.
He's fantastic. Anton is great. He's excited to be here. Desi has this expression in which he loves a party. Anton loves a party.
Not too much, I hope, anyone.
I know. Yeah, he's got to like perform too. But and he's always got his head out of the stall and he's saying hi to everybody. And we had team photos earlier this morning, and the photographer had to kind of crouch down by his stall, and he kept messing up her hair, and he's really full of himself. He's great, and he's feeling great under tack too. He feels really good.
So you entered the arena for the very first time this morning with Anton. What about the ground of the main arena? Because this is quite important in a class. I mean.
Yes, the Normandy, the WEG organizing committee is doing a really good job. They're maintaining it consistently. They're watering it consistently. My feeling is it's a bit harder than I'm used to at other competitions. And it takes a bit of an adjustment when it's harder because your speed can be slightly off. Things can look quicker than they are. And that's just been an adjustment for me the last couple of days. I thought I had a good tempo and it was way too fast. So it just takes time. But I have to say that the organizing committee is doing a really good job to maintain it.
In a competition like this one, what is your best friend and what is your worst enemy?
Oh, that's a hard question. Your best friend is your horse. Definitely your horse. I mean, they're your partner. He's out there with me. He's out there with me every step of the way. And I think that he's your best friend. Your worst enemy, I think your worst enemy would be controlling your mind, that your thoughts stay positive and that you believe in what you can do, and you're going to do your best out there and not have any little negative things go into your head. I think that would be your worst enemy.
In a competition taking place in Europe, you are supposed to arrive quite a long time before the event in Europe. You did not really arrive so early. I mean, it was just at the end of July. Can you deal easily with this?
Yeah, I mean, I've been in Europe many years. I lived here for a number of years and then have come back a lot. And Anton has too. I mean, Anton was born here, and even though I got him when he was a young horse, he's spent a lot of time in Europe and a lot of time at CDIs in Europe. So personally, I feel that coming here a little bit later was fine. And we did do one competition, which was Verdun, which was a very good idea because it was a tough competition and that the atmosphere was very high with the World Young Horse Championships going on at the same time. So that was really important. But I feel ready, and I feel that our plan and strategy was the right one for us this year, and I feel really ready to go in there on Tuesday.
You already took part in the team 3 times, 2002, 2 World Equestrian Games, 1 Olympic, also European Championships. I mean, what is your best souvenir at the moment, before this one, of course?
Oh, like my best memory at one of the shows? I think my best memory would probably be the opening ceremonies of the Olympic Games. That was probably my best memory. That was unbelievable.
It was in Athens, Greece.
Yes, it was in Athens. Yeah. It was just walking behind your nation. And one thing hit me at the Olympics that I never really understood would hit me was the spirit of sport and the spirit of peace among nations all competing together. And that was such a beautiful thing that I felt at the Olympic Games in the opening ceremony. And so I think that would be my best memory at this stage.
Okay, we wish you very good luck for Tuesday because you are going on Tuesday. You are number 4 in the team. Yes. Not too much pressure to be the 4th?
Yeah, any spot is pressure. Any spot is pressure. And 4th is maybe a little bit more pressure, but I have a great team behind me, and they, at any given day, any of us could win. We're really quite equal in what we can do, so I feel that helps alleviate my pressure. But I'm excited to be 4th. I'm excited to be anchor, and
I think for me, it's a great position.
We wish you very good luck for you and Anton, and we are quite sure that Caen will give you better memories even than the Olympics. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye. Well, first of all, congratulations, because considering the weather conditions, all right, it's a fantastic test, what you have done today.
Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate that. The weather conditions definitely played on my mind a little bit today, but I was really happy with the overall test. I appreciate that.
In fact, there was just a little mistake in the extended trot, the second one. What happened exactly?
You know what? I felt that he was getting a bit heavy in the footing, and I thought I could push him without taking a risk. And I think he sucked in the footing and tripped a little bit and broke into canter. He's so confident now, he came right back, and I think we both looked past that immediately to produce a nice test after that. It's an unfortunate mistake, but I think it was my mistake. I felt like he has more in there, and I asked for more, and that always takes a risk.
You've reached the score of 70%, .414, I think. It's one of your highest scores this season.
Yeah, he's been sitting right around 70 for a lot of the Florida season, and at Aachen he had a similar score, and then Ferden was one of his best, or I think his best score. So I think when you come to a major championships like this, if you can do here what you do at home, you can be happy about that. Anything past that, I think, is really gravy. So I'm really happy to get that score after considering that's pretty close to what he typically gets.
There is now a mental coach working with the Canadian team. Does it help?
It's not something that I've really utilized, I have to say, a lot. I'm not a nervous rider. I'm not. I don't have a lot of experience with that, and I am one of those people that I don't like to change things before a major championship. So I did here what I do at every other show, and that's what mentally prepares me the best.
And what was your best feeling during this test?
Probably the final halt, knowing that I made it through, I finished, I'm alive, he's alive. That was a good feeling. I think this is a really strong team for us. You know, we haven't had a team where we have 3 horses that can consistently, you know, 1 horse very close to 70 and 3 that are consistently getting 70% or higher. And I think all 3 of us had scores up to 72. And that's probably a record for Canada, I would say, in a team that they've sent. So I'm excited for what my teammates are going to do. I think the potential is really great. Those girls that are riding tomorrow are amazing riders on super horses, and I hope both of them beat me and we have a great team score.
Do you think that these games are a kind of preparation for the next ones, which are going to take place in Canada?
Yeah, I mean, every day that you're done this event, whatever this event is, I think you start looking forward to what the next event is. So this is my first WEG, and I hope to participate in many more after this, and hopefully the next one in my home country.
Thank you very much, and congratulations. Belinda, well done.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm extremely happy.
I think that 71%, well, more than 71% is one of your best score at the moment in a Grand Prix, no?
It's my best score in major games. 71.6, I think, is the score. I have to double check, but I think so. So in a major games, that's my best score yet, yes.
So we're very happy to see that, knowing that a few years ago, in fact, it was not sure that Anton would be able to perform in such a big event.
Yes, I look at this competition for me as a gift. It's a gift to have him back. It's so hard to get a horse trained and up to this caliber and to handle this level of competition and talent. And he's come back for me, and I really believe it's his heart and his soul that's brought him back. And it's a gift today. It's a gift.
The team was also very good here in Caen. I mean, your goal is mainly reached, no?
Yes, I mean, I want to go on to the special, and I sure hope to the freestyle, but I have to ride like every inch out tomorrow to do that among this caliber. But that is my goal, yes.
About the team, because we see that we have 3 horses around 70%, more or less, 1 horse more than 71%, and still the team is maybe 7th. We don't know yet, but around 7 or 8. It seems that it's going to be very difficult to be able to reach the top 5.
Very difficult. I mean, I think at this day and age, you have to have a super horse, and those are those horses that can score close to 80% to be in a medal contending position. And if you want to be fourth or fifth, you've got to have 74, 75, and we're not at that stage yet. Canada's not, but doesn't mean that we won't be. We will be at some point.
We hope so, because in 4 years the event will be important for all of us. Just a few words about the Grand Prix Spécial. How is Anton usually in a Grand Prix Spécial?
Normally it's my better test, so I sure hope I'm not jinxing myself. I hope that happens tomorrow. I know we seem to get all the cobwebs out in the Grand Prix, and we seem to run a little smoother in the special. So I hope that will be the case tomorrow. I usually in the past have been a little bit higher in the special, so hopefully I'll be able to reach my goal and get a score to make the final.
Thank you very much and good luck. Lynn, bon ben voilà, les résultats sont tombés sur l'épreuve de Reinine par équipe et puis on va pas se mentir, c'est pas à la hauteur de nos espérances.
Absolument pas. Écoute, on avait beaucoup de confiance sur les deux cavaliers d'aujourd'hui et puis bon, on travaille avec des animaux et ça n'a pas tout à fait été de la façon qu'on pensait. Alors, peu importe les raisons pour lesquelles on dirait que ça n'a pas fonctionné, ça n'a pas fonctionné. On est partagé entre deux sentiments parce qu'on est quand même très fiers que le groupe soit très homogène parce qu'on se situe entre 2,13,5, 2,14,5 et on a les 4 chevaux qui sont qualifiés pour la consolation, la consolante comme le dit ici en France et chez nous au Québec on dit la consolation. Et ça c'est déjà un élément pour nous qui est très positif. La déception, c'est on a perdu 2 positions, on était en 6e, on prévoyait avec les 2 garçons de monter facilement si on avait les performances qu'on s'attendait, d'être en 4e, peut-être une possibilité de 3e, si on avait eu les performances vraiment maximum de ce que les chevaux sont capables de faire et les cavaliers. Et ça, c'est pas passé. Donc, maintenant, notre focus est vraiment axé sur la consolation pour essayer de faire le maximum, puisqu'on a 20 chevaux qui peuvent faire l'épreuve et il y en a 5 qui vont pouvoir se rendre en finale. Donc, on a 4 cavaliers. Donc, on a 4 chances. On peut y avoir les 4. Mais on va tout faire pour essayer de qualifier des chevaux en finale pour l'individuel. Ça ne veut pas dire qu'on n'a pas de chance de médaille individuelle. Donc, pour l'équipe, oui, c'est terminé. On a fini en 8e. Mais pour ce qui a trait à avoir des équipes médailles individuelles, c'est encore possible.
Est-ce que finalement, quand même, lorsque surviennent les Jeux équestres mondiaux, il n'y a pas un peu beaucoup de pression mise sur les épaules des reineurs tellement on s'attend à ce qu'ils rentrent au pays avec une médaille autour du cou?
Écoute, je pense pas que mes cavaliers ont eu se sont mis cette pression-là. La pression était de faire le mieux qu'ils pouvaient avec les chevaux qu'ils avaient et on a eu des surprises. C'était pas vraiment, absolument pas ce qu'on s'attendait. Alors, bon, un cheval qui était un petit peu, le cheval à Mathieu avait un petit peu de problème physique, donc ça nous a un peu nui. Mais on est allé voir le vétérinaire aujourd'hui, on fait des traitements et tout, donc on s'attend à ce que demain, lors de la pratique, on va pouvoir réévaluer la condition du cheval, mais on peut lui demander plus que qu'est-ce qu'on s'attendait puisqu'il était déclaré sain. Pour ce qui est trait au cheval à Cody, c'est qu'on a mal jugé sa fatigue. On s'attendait à ce que ce cheval-là, quand il l'a monté hier, il allait bien, on s'est dit, bon, OK, on laisse ça là-dessus et tout. Mais c'est un cheval qui a une condition physique extrêmement forte. Alors, on a un peu mal évalué sa condition physique et ça s'est répercuté dans un effet qui était un peu frais. Donc, il se laissait déranger par plein de choses. Alors, habituellement, c'est un cheval qui est très focusé. Et là, on a perdu son focus dû à une condition qui est un petit peu frais. Donc, on va travailler sur ces éléments-là pour la prochaine fois. Mais les cavaliers ont vraiment donné le maximum et ils l'ont tous dit. Quand ils entrent dans le manège, ils sont prêts à travailler. Le stress n'est plus là. Bon, il y a un petit peu de stress avant d'entrer, puis c'est normal. Mais ils ont l'expérience de gérer ce genre d'activité-là. Et ils ont l'expérience aussi de revenir fort, de ne pas se laisser abattre par une performance qui a été loin de nos attentes. Donc, déjà, on voit déjà dans leur attitude que OK, on est prêt, là. On passe l'éponge sur ça. Et puis là, maintenant, on travaille pour l'individuel. Et puis, on cherche une médaille pour l'individuel.
Alors la consolante, c'est après-demain. Qu'est-ce qui va se passer dans la journée de demain pour nos 4 couples?
Ben, vois-tu, aujourd'hui, on avait les 2 filles, Lisa et Josiane, qui pouvaient monter puisque eux, ils n'ont pas compétitionné aujourd'hui. Cody et Mathieu ne pouvaient pas monter aujourd'hui puisqu'ils avaient compétitionné aujourd'hui. C'est les règlements de la fédération. Donc, demain, nos 4 cavaliers vont être au travail. Et jeudi, on se prépare pour la compétition de jeudi après-midi. Donc, c'est demain où on va avoir à remettre les pendules à l'heure, puis remettre les choses en place et puis faire en sorte que le potentiel et ce que les chevaux sont capables de donner, ben on va aller chercher le maximum. C'est vraiment un concours de circonstances. Dommage. Et mais c'est ça. C'est comme ça que ça se passe dans. On a vu des chevaux, des super chevaux, vivre des situations difficiles. Alors, mais il faut oublier, il faut passer l'éponge là-dessus et puis remettre le focus sur la qualité de performance que ces chevaux-là sont capables de donner.
Alors vous nous l'aviez dit, Lynn, dès le premier jour, il fallait se méfier des nations européennes qui avaient vraiment progressé. Elles l'ont franchement prouvé au regard du résultat ce soir.
Oui, parce que tu vois, on avait très peu de points de différence tout au long de la journée. On était très, très près. On avait 4 pays qui étaient très près. L'Australie, l'Autriche, nous et l'Angleterre. C'était les 4 pays qui étaient très proches. Les autres avaient suffisamment de distance dans les points par rapport à nous. Donc, ça pouvait se jouer entre nous. Et puis, c'est vrai que la qualité des chevaux est supérieure. Le premier, on savait très bien que les Américains arrivaient avec une troupe qui était très difficile. On se disait qu'il fallait qu'il y ait une bombe qui explose sur leur écurie ou que tous les chevaux tombent sur les genoux, mais on savait que c'était très difficile de les battre. On savait aussi que les Belges avaient une équipe aussi très solide. Après, le bronze était assez ouvert. Donc, et puis, c'est ça. Ça s'est joué à quelques points près. Et puis, finalement, c'est l'Autriche qui a passé. Et je suis contente parce que c'est un nouveau pays qui s'installe là aussi. Donc, les Allemands, tu vois, les Allemands aussi pouvaient être très près. Puis, finalement, ça n'a pas fonctionné. Donc, la bronze était ouverte à tout le monde. Les 2 autres étaient un petit peu plus difficiles à aller chercher.
Néanmoins, Cody, en entrevue avec nous, avait l'air de dire que pour les Américains, ça allait sûrement pas être facile dans les années à venir et que la menace, elle était déjà peut-être bien présente quand même.
Oui, tu vois, aujourd'hui, ils sont arrivés, les Américains, avec une équipe blindée. Mais vraiment, là, ils sont arrivés avec des super chevaux. Et d'ici 4 ans, il y a encore plein de choses qui peuvent se passer. Les pays s'améliorent de fois en fois. Ce qui est important, c'est de se mettre en situation de compétition de très haut niveau. Alors, avec le nouveau système de la fédération, on en arrive à ça maintenant parce que les gens vont avoir à se qualifier à différents niveaux. Niveau 1, niveau 2, niveau 3. Puis, ils vont devoir être au moins niveau 3 pour pouvoir venir au championnat du monde. Donc, ça va les obliger à compétitionner à des bons niveaux. Ça ne sera pas de faire juste quelques compétitions. Il va falloir aussi arriver avec des chevaux qui sont prêts et qu'on a monté plus souvent. Des chevaux que tu montes, que tu prends à la dernière minute, c'est pas une recette gagnante. Mais là, on n'avait pas le choix cette année. On s'est retrouvés un petit peu coincés. Mais on va bâtir, nous, en tout cas, en conséquence, pour que d'ici 4 ans, mais qu'on arrive au Québec, on va être chez nous. On va avoir beaucoup de pression aussi chez nous, mais on va travailler en fonction d'avoir une équipe qu'on va avoir bâtie sur une année et non sur quelques mois. On va faire la différence.
Bon, en tout cas, pour leur focus sur la consolation et bonne chance à tous nos cavaliers.
Bien, merci beaucoup, Xavier.
Matthew, could you just let us know what happened today in the arena for you? Because it was your very first time and such a big event. Yes. And it did not go as well as you wish, I suppose.
Yes. No, that's for sure. With the horse, I was very happy with. I just had a lot of bad luck as far as he had a hard time fitting in here, just in the environment and stuff. He just got a little sore in the back. And I wasn't able to stop him there the last 3 days, and just trying to keep him happy and sound and stuff. And so as far as him, I was very happy with him. He just he popped out a lead in the left circle, but I think that's to do with the problem I've been having on keeping him physically in shape.
Do you think it's just bad luck, a bit of pressure, or something else?
No, it's definitely just bad luck. Like, he's used to, eating alfalfa and stuff like that, and we've been having a hard time getting alfalfa and went to grass hay, and I think it's more just because his back had kind of a slight tying up, and that's just bad luck. I mean, every time I showed that horse, he was always there for me, and I don't think he's ever marked under 74. He's just an honest horse, and always been great. And he actually gave me more in the pen than he did every night this week, so I'm very happy with him. I'm sad that he wasn't at his physical ability like he normally is.
So are you going to train in a particular way to prepare the consolation, or you're not going to change anything about your plans?
Yeah, the biggest thing I'm going to do is just really, like tomorrow, just trot him around, try to get him as loose as possible, and because he knows his job. I just need to get him feeling good physically. And just go in and call on him. He's always been there for me, so I just got to trust him.
Anyway, even if it didn't go that well, I suppose that you learned quite a lot of things in such a big event, no?
Yes, I was a little bit concerned before I came here on the pressure and stuff, but it wasn't that much pressure. I mean, it was just the feeling of very honored to ride for Canada and stuff like that, but I feel very fortunate to have such a teammate like my horse, because it's been 4 years we've been riding together, and I know him like the back of my hand, so it definitely helped to have him, because he's definitely gave me a lot of confidence for an event like this.
So good luck for the consolation. Thank you. Cody, it was your first time in the World Equestrian Games this time?
Yeah, my first time to the World Equestrian Games. I was 2001 to the Nations Cup for the team event, but World Equestrian Games first time.
I suppose with what happened today, you are a little disappointed. Could you just come back about your pattern?
Yeah, I had obviously I had high expectations for my horse. He's been fairly consistent for me. A time or two he has shown a little bit of disobedience in the show arena. The venue here was pretty loud inside, and he was reacting on the crowd a little bit. I had some trouble in my circle. There was a young lady with her feet through the fence, and she was kicking at one of the banners for the sponsored banners, and the banner was flapping, making some big movement, and he used that as an excuse to spook away from the wall. I had a little bit of difficulty controlling him on the circle. And then after that, I lost a little bit of confidence in the rest of the pattern, so I had maybe a little bit too tight a rein for the judges to give me any credit on some of the other maneuvers. And I did have a penalty. I had some penalty points, one on the turnaround, one on a set of circles, and I missed my last stop pretty good. With the footing is a little bit tricky, so I missed my last stop pretty good, and otherwise not so bad.
Okay, anyway, now it's past. You have to focus on the consolation, because there is a possibility to get a qualification for the final.
Yeah, there's 15 going back into the consolation. They'll take the top 5 scores, and for that I'm just going to ride him like normal, and just maybe have him a little more relaxed in that. I'll get back in the show arena tomorrow night, and just give him some time and hopefully get him a little more relaxed, and I hope I can be one of the top 5 for the consolation.
We noticed that European reining has got an incredible evolution in the past years, and just seeing the results today is just the proof of it.
Yeah, the quality of the horses is comparable. There are still more horses, obviously, in the United States and Canada, some good horses in Canada as well. But the population of horses, good horses, quality horses, and quality trainers is still high. The good young trainers from Europe will still go to the U.S. to educate themselves in in the horsemanship part of it, of reining, and some of them do make their way back here, but obviously some of them do stay over there. Andrea Fapani from Italy got his U.S. citizenship and competed for U.S. this year, and but the horse quality is improving, and also the level of horsemanship in Europe is also improving, and we do have some great horsemen and great horse trainers here in Europe. So it's very comparable now.
And do you think that in a few years European countries will be able really to threaten the United States?
I think they threatened them this year. The U.S. For sure was holding their breath until Bernard Funk finished his run for Belgium. Bernard had a great run. He also had incurred some penalties, but they put pressure on the U.S. at every turn. They put pressure on the U.S. at every turn, and also some great runs from the Austrian riders, and Germany right behind them. Unfortunately, as Canadians, we missed the mark this year. We had a few, like Lisa and Josiane, they were riding some horses that are a little bit new to them, and my horse, I missed. I didn't show him to his ability in the team competition. Matthew also had a little bit of trouble as horse acclimatizing to the environment here, so we missed it this year, but I know for sure Canada can always threaten the U.S. if we put a good team together.
Actually, the very first day, you were maybe a little bit disappointed about your first sets. What happened?
In the first day? Just getting to know my new partner. We've only been together a couple of months, so it was just sort of feeling it out and being in that atmosphere, and the weather was a whole bunch of things, just kind of getting to know each other.
And now, obviously, the complicity is okay now.
Definitely. You kind of go back to the drawing board and decide you're at the World Equestrian Games, time to ride like you mean it, and so we did that today.
You were already part of the team in Lexington and in the Paralympics as well. So when you have such an experience, I suppose that you have a big expectation, no?
Definitely, for sure. I was supposed to take Fredonia, the horse that I was riding today, to London, but that didn't work out at the last moment, so this is kind of like a redemption show. It was great to be in the ring with her. It was just like, oh, don't cry, you're not done yet. So it was great.
How did you train exactly to prepare this event, the World Equestrian Games?
We have been in Europe since March, and then I came to Florida in February to work with Lorraine and Fergie and a bunch of other horses. So we've been going for 7 months now preparing for the World Equestrian Games. And we did a 6-week European tour. We did Holland, Germany, France, and Belgium. So we've been doing a lot of in the show ring practice. So it's great to be here and finally doing it.
How do you deal with the pressure? Because when you have a test, it counts not only for you, but also for the team.
It used to be overwhelming, and now someone in London said to me right before a test, he said, "I'm envious of you." And that always sort of stuck with me, like, oh, right, not everybody gets to do this, and this is a special thing that not many people can say that they've accomplished. So at some point you have to learn, like, you love what you do, so you better enjoy every moment of it, and this is a big moment.
And so what's the next step now?
Baby steps. I'm going to go home and take a rest for a while, and then we'll talk about the future. Yeah.
Thank you very much, and congratulations. Lauren, you had quite a good start here in Normandy for this World Equestrian Games. Could you just tell us a bit more about your first test?
My first test was quite electric, and the arena was very windy, and the cameras and flags, and so the mare came in and went, oh, this looks different from yesterday when we were training. But she's really she trusts me, and we have a great partnership. So I just kept reassuring her and saying, "You're okay. We're fine." And she's like, "Are you sure?" And I said, "Yes." And sure enough, we went in the arena. And I kept it very conservative. I like to ride today for tomorrow, because it's 3 days, and I want to make sure that she's confident going into the arena the next couple days. So, you know, I didn't pull back, but I made it conservative, because I knew she was a little bit tense, and I was really pleased with her because she asked a lot of questions, and she had 2 little spooks, but because she comes back so nicely, the judges were very kind, and you know, overall, good first day and a lot to build on.
Well, you know that now we're used to have medals with para-dressage, so you know that your fans and supporters, they have a big expectation. Do you think about this before such an event?
Yes and no, because it's a moment in time, and I think it's, you go in there and the class is so competitive, and it's who got up on the right side of the bed that day and was able to put in the best 6 minutes of their life, you know. So I do the best for me, for the people that are on my journey, but I try not to let the pressure get to me. I think there was more pressure in 2010 because I was just coming off of the gold and silver. Now I have a horse that's a different horse, and the big picture is Brazil, and so I want to do well here, but I'm not going to risk anything to make Brazil not fabulous, because that's the big picture.
So it means that even if you have already a gold and silver in Paralympics, you still have motivation.
Especially with a new horse, right? So it's all the time trying to figure out the combination, the magic equation of what makes this horse tick in these circumstances, in sun, rain, wind, different stands. You have to figure it out, and it's a never-ending mind game of what works. What's the warm-up? How long? What do they get fed that day? How many times do they get walked? So there's lots of motivation, absolutely.
And so what's the next step for you here in this these World Equestrian Games?
Tomorrow is my championship day, and it's my more challenging test. So my goal is still obviously top 3. I'll be pleased with top 6, because our freestyle is what we're really, really comfortable with, and I love, and she's great at, and you have to be top 7 to move on to the freestyle. So I'm got my sights on the freestyle. That's my big goal. I'm super proud of my teammate that just went, Ashley Gowanlock, because I own that horse, and she's my backup horse, and it's incredible to see 2 people, a horse and a rider, come together on such short notice and do what they did today. So super proud of them.
Thank you very much. Yvette, it was a very tough day and very tough competition today. What memory will you keep from Normandy and these World Equestrian Games?
It was a beautiful trail. All my international rider friends were here trying just as hard. Last year it was dry, so it wasn't as bad. It was a very nice trail. The trail along the beach, seeing Mont Saint-Michel, was beautiful. Everybody tried to help everybody, but the race is the race. It was bad weather, mud up to your knees, and you had to make a certain time, no matter what. They didn't change that time till later in the day. It was too late. All the horses had tried very hard. At least all of our team members are safe, the riders and the horses, and we enjoyed our time here in France and in Normandy at the hotels and seeing the sights and meeting the people. It was wonderful. You can't always finish every race.
And what happened exactly to you and with your horse? How did you feel your horse during this race?
He was wonderful. He was very strong. He pulled a lot on the first 2 loops, but that is your worst 2 loops. There's nothing you can do. Just try and go slow enough, but make time as well. Unfortunately, when we went to Pulse, he was 1 beat higher, 65 instead of 64, and you're out. That's it. I think he still could have gone on and done well. He's a big horse. He's from France. He was here last year and did 75 miles for the trial. He's a very kind, caring horse. He looks after his rider. I enjoyed riding him. I'll never forget him. But
and so what's next for you?
Taking the young riders from Canada to Chile for the World Young Riders.
I suppose that there is a little bit of disappointment tonight for you and your and the members of the team.
We are disappointed. I mean, we never like to not finish our events. Our events go on for a very long period of time, and they are very rewarding when you get to the end of them and you pass and you succeed. So yeah, we're a little bit disappointed, but we are at the same time very pleased that we have 4 healthy horses, we have 4 healthy riders, and everybody will be going home after this event. And so, but we are still very happy with the way the riders rode. It was a very difficult trail. The first 2 loops were very difficult. A very beautiful trail. The riders are still talking about all of the scenes from the beach and everything that happened, and the people of France. The people of France that came out onto the beaches, came out onto the roads. The riders just can't stop talking about how they enjoyed them. And when they asked where the riders were from and they said Canada, they got big cheers, like very big cheers. And so all of the riders are coming away with very warm feelings because of that.
Peter, c'était un rôle important que vous aviez dans cette équipe parce que finalement, en partant en premier, vous êtes l'ouvreur, donc vous êtes censé pouvoir ramener des informations à vos coéquipiers.
Oui, j'étais première de mon équipe et 7e. Et voilà, j'ai essayé de faire mon meilleur de rentrée. En montant, je constatais le terrain était plus mou qu'on a pensé et on voyait les chevaux ont fait des trous, punched in holes. Et j'ai décidé là de prendre un peu plus mon temps et voir qu'est-ce que j'ai plus tard dans le parcours.
Et est-ce que vous pouvez nous expliquer ce qui s'est passé donc à l'occasion de ce refus? C'était en début de parcours, je crois.
Oui, c'était le 4e et c'est une double coin. Et moi, je ne suis pas arrivé d'attraper le 2e coin. Je n'ai pas viré assez fort et aider à dérober un peu.
Est-ce que le fait de partir en premier pour l'équipe impose de monter d'une certaine manière le parcours?
Je crois que vous voulez, si vous montez pour vous-même, vous allez plus vite que vous pouvez et vous essayez de faire le meilleur placement pour vous. Et si ça ne va pas, bon, tant pis. Mais si vous allez pour une équipe, et surtout en première, je crois que c'est important de rentrer et donner aux autres une chance de savoir que déjà une cavalière est rentrée. Et il peut attaquer un peu plus fort. Si déjà le premier n'est pas là, il n'y en a que 3, il faut qualifier 3. et c'est pas génial. Alors j'ai essayé surtout de rentrer et d'être pas trop agressif et de rentrer.
Est-ce que du coup vous êtes satisfait justement de ce parcours et du comportement de votre cheval?
Mon cheval était génial. C'était un parcours, comme je disais, très attaquant, très vers l'avant. Il fallait vraiment monter. Avec les haies, ils ont mis sur presque chaque saut. Ça a venu, je ne vais pas le mesurer, mais je veux dire c'est 4 pieds 6, quelque chose comme ça. Il peut mettre un pied de plus sur le maximum. Alors on a eu beaucoup de sauts qui étaient très importants, où il fallait attaquer des grands coins vers la fin. Et je trouve que mon cheval a très très bien fait. Et je juste regrette que au début je manquais une virage au coin, au deuxième coin.
On a vu d'excellents cavaliers qui ont beaucoup d'expérience abandonner dès le début du parcours. Enfin, Bruce Davidson par exemple. Est-ce que c'est une information que vous aviez entendue avant de partir et est-ce qu'on y pense?
Une fois vous êtes en préparation pour sortir, vous concentrez sur vous-même. Je suis un peu ignorant qu'est-ce qui est arrivé à droite et à gauche. Je fais mon warm-up comme je pensais c'était le meilleur pour mettre mon cheval en place. Et vous sortez. Mais il était très frais, il était en très bonne... Peut-être je peux raconter une petite histoire.
Avec plaisir.
Mon cheval a quand même un certain âge, il a 15 ans. Et pour pas seulement galoper, et chez nous c'était un peu dur, et il y a eu beaucoup de soleil, j'ai demandé la permission de Mont Sutton. À Sutton, c'est une montagne de ski, très jolie. Et on a monté 1-2 fois par semaine à pied vers le haut. Ça, c'était 35 minutes montée en pic. Et son cœur était entre 140 et 180. Le mien d'ailleurs aussi. Et voilà, on a fait ça une fois tôt le matin. Et après, on a repris le travail normal. Et j'étais curieux de voir comment ça va fonctionner, si ça remplace vraiment le galop. Et il faut que je dise, ça fonctionnait très bien. Je trouvais que j'ai eu assez de cheval à la fin. Et
merci pour ce petit secret d'entraînement et de coaching.
Bienvenue au Canada, bienvenue à Jessica Phoenix et bonne chance à elle avec Pavarotti.
Jessica, what a fantastic ride today.
Thank you so much.
How did you feel on this course with Pavarotti?
Well, this was Pavarotti's first 4-star event, so he's got tons of scope and a huge gallop. And our team coach Clayton Fredericks said, like, just go out and don't cook them, let them cruise around the course. Time is not going to be super important. So that's what I did. I let him go out, let him pick his gallop, jumped every fence the cleanest and the best we could, and I couldn't be more happy with him today.
Did he surprise you?
You know, he did not surprise me. This horse gives me so much confidence sitting on his back. He is seriously one of the best jumpers I could be sitting on. He's got more scope than he ever needs. He's got a huge gallop. And just for his first 4-star and this deep, muddy footing, I wanted to just give him a good ride around, and I think I did that, and he came back looking confident and happy and ready for tomorrow.
So you know that your result is very important for the team as well, because it's not sure that at the end of the day all the countries will get their team.
Yes, absolutely, and that's the other thing that was in the back of my mind. I thought it's more important to just get this horse home than to be really going out and blistering for time. This is definitely a team competition, and we're not in it for individual glory, and I just wanted to post a really good score for my team.
You were gold medalist at the Pan American Games, but World Equestrian Games, it's completely another story.
Yeah, it's definitely 2 levels higher than the Pan American Games. I was fortunate enough to come over and do the CCI 3-star at Blenheim on Pavarotti last fall, and I'm really thankful that I had that experience under his belt. I think it was really helpful for him to come and do this year. And we also were able to do the CIC 3-star here last August. And I think just having him out on the footing and knowing the terrain allowed us to prepare for the galloping and be ready for tomorrow.
Do you think that the courses in Europe are very different than the one you can have in Northern America?
That's a great question. I think that this course, compared to the CICs that we have in North America, was much more bold, much more forward-going. The distances were open. Oftentimes I'm having to sit and whoa on courses in North America. On this course, I felt like I just kept going. Having said that, I think when you get to CCI 4 stars, most of them are forward and going. Reminded me a lot of Burley.
Thank you very much and congratulations and good luck for tomorrow.
Chase fences 24 and 25. And we have Meryl Bloom going for the Land Rover sequence. Yes, she's clear through 15 through 8.
Holly, it's been a tough day today for you, tough competition. Could you just explain to us what happened for you?
Well, you know what, it could have been a lot tougher. I got around, I finished. Obviously it wasn't the ride that I wanted. My horse has never been in footing like this, and it affected her. And she wasn't her normal, springy going south, so I just did the best I could to get her around. And we have a team finish, which is really, really important. And, the pressure's taken off Selena now a little bit, and she can go have a good go. And I got it done. Obviously, it wasn't the ride I wanted, but, she's sound, she's happy, and, the girls are taking care of her, and tomorrow's another day.
To be stopped on the course just because another rider fell off and the class has been stopped for a while, it's quite disturbing for you, I suppose.
Yeah, it was fine for me. It stops your momentum, and it's hard to get your adrenaline going and get going back again. And I had a great stopping point. Fence 10 was just a big galloping table, so that was nice that they gave me that to get going again. But again, I've never had to be held on course with her, and she's the type of horse that loves adrenaline and going and get the flow of it. So, no excuses. I didn't do as good as I should have, but hey, we got it done. So,
thank you very much. Selena, at the beginning of the course, it was amazing the way you rode with your horse, but unfortunately there was one refusal. What happened exactly?
He was really flying and jumping out of stride, and that's one of the hardest things for me, is doing the easy, straightforward galloping tables. I always take a pull and waste a lot of time, so I was so happy to be hitting them and jumping out of stride. I'd already made the conscious decision to jump the first corner and roll back and do the other one, which was good because he took a flyer over the first corner. I was worried, at Guadalajara, he was greener and younger. He ran out of steam, and I didn't give him a chance to take a breath at the top of the hill, and I had 20 penalties. So this time I was very careful when I got to the top of the hill where they cut the owl out to make sure he took a big deep breath, and then he ran down the hill, and I didn't run out of gears like I did at Rolex. He was still full of running. I could get him to speed up. I could get him to slow down. He was jumping great, and I had a really bold jump in over the first part of that water. I didn't count my strides. I just tried to ride it off my eye. I tried to make sure I didn't pull too much, but I tried not to get strung out. I think I jumped it from too far away. Maybe if I'd done an 8 through there and add a little bit more of a pop over the bank, he would have had a chance to see what was on the other side and, clambered over that. But as it was, he jumped up and he jumped, but he jumped with a white flag right between his legs. So the shoulders didn't pass through the flags. And I circled around and hopped in over the log and circled around, and all of that still didn't tire him out, and he still was full of running to the last and flew over all the last jumps out of stride. He's just green. What can I say? A lot of better horses and riders than him have had trouble out here today, and I'm nothing but proud of him, and I will go home and I will practice banks up to objects, because it was actually that at Guadalajara into the water that I had trouble with, but I felt it was because he was tired, and that was in 2011, so I'll just make sure I go home and practice those, but he's fitter and brave and strong and honest, so really it was just a little bit of a mistake, and we'll go home and practice like we do, and we'll come back better next time.
And anyway, even if it's a little bit disappointing, of course, the most important was to complete the course, because even great champions like Bruce Davidson or Mac Todd didn't finish the course.
Yeah, my coach Clayton has been great and super supportive, and obviously, you know, when I saw Gin and Juice, Holly's mount, not enjoying the going, I was really concerned because that mare loves to run and jump. So when I got out there, I realized what she was talking about. There's horse hoof print shaped divots everywhere that are literally the feet are going in and coming out, and it's holding them. So it's a struggle for them to gallop along the ground, you know, which is tiring. And Clayton's really pleased. He said, I just need you. Your job is to finish. You have to come home. And obviously I would have loved to have come home without that silly stop. But it's nothing to do with the horse. It's training and age and experience. And I'll be smarter and practice harder.
He'll be ready in 4 years in Bromont.
You bet. Yeah.
Tomorrow is going to take place the last phase of the competition with the show jumping. Is he a good show jumper?
He is becoming a very good show jumper. He was actually bred to show jump. Before he started with me, he was bred by a great Canadian show jump breeder and rider. And me and him have gotten so much better at show jumping. Rolex, he's difficult to make the time. He's got a humongous stride, and you can go clear and do all the very, very, very tightest turns you can. And then you'll hopefully get clear in no time. But if you try to go fast, you'll probably have a rail, and it's better to do the tight turns and jump clear. He's jumping super, better and better every time I take him out. He was great at Great Meadows, which was our preparation event. So I'm excited for tomorrow, and he feels very fit, which is also exciting, fitter than he was at Rolex, and he did a clear round there. So
we always talk about the three phases of the competition: dressage, cross-country, and show jumping, but we should say that there is a fourth one. This is the vet inspection tomorrow morning. And do you think that it will be fine?
Yeah, he didn't rub anything. You know, when I first started with him, he would do interspaces and kind of brush a stifle or something. He cleared everything. He was much more fit. He didn't pull a shoe. I've got Dr. Christiana Ober, who's probably the best vet in North America. And he seems happy, and he's been jogging up great even after Rolex. So I don't see any reason why he wouldn't here.
Right. Thank you very much, Selena, and good luck for tomorrow. Clayton, you've been coach for the Canadian team for almost more than a year now.
Yeah, just coming up for this is my second year. Yeah.
And what was exactly your expectation before coming here at the World Equestrian Games for this team?
Well, I think we put together, a nice team. I don't think we had expectations of medaling, but we were very much trying to get a qualification for the Olympic Games. That's really what was the goal this time. So yeah, we've gone fairly close. I mean, it's not over yet, but yeah, at this point, very pleased with the horses and the riders. They've conducted themselves in an absolutely superb manner throughout the games. I would have liked a little bit better results in the jumping. My last two in the ring, we had started off very well with a clear round, and it was a shame that the last two sort of the fences fell. I don't know if it's the atmosphere is starting to rise, or the crowd's getting a little bit more vocal and it's affecting the horses' concentration or not. Event horses aren't that used to jumping in such big environment, and I think maybe some of the horses have let that affect them a little bit.
May we consider that these World Equestrian Games are a kind of step toward a better team for the next events and next big events?
Yeah, look, I would like to think so. I mean, the thing that we're very much lacking in the Canadian team is horsepower. We've got some very supportive owners and family and everything behind the riders, but we really have a huge lack of horsepower in the eventing. We have good riders, but yeah, we really need some more horses, and it'd be very, very nice to have a situation where these good riders that are getting this big experience at World Championships, Olympic Games, etc., can then use that experience on up-and-coming younger horses. Yeah, I hope I could influence that going forward.
Eric, c'est un démarrage absolument fantastique quand même pour l'équipe du Canada avec ces 4 parcours, donc j'imagine que ça donne confiance pour la suite.
Oui, c'est une super journée pour le Canada. Tous les cavaliers ont très bien monté, les chevaux ont super sauté, dont inclut Yann Candel qui a passé 4e ce matin. Passé très tôt dans une épreuve où il y a 153 partants. C'est très difficile. On lui a demandé de garder les choses simples et nous donner un bon score, ce qu'il a fait. Et puis, on avait des joueurs pour tenter un peu plus après, mais une super bonne journée. Et je crois que les chevaux ont très bien sauté et vont garder le rythme pour demain.
On est sur une épreuve de vitesse, mais en même temps, il y a la Coupe des Nations en 2 manches. Il y a beaucoup de parcours encore à venir. Donc, du coup, est-ce qu'on la joue vraiment, la vitesse, dans cette épreuve-là?
Écoute, il faut la jouer parce que ça décide quand même, c'est pas une compétition individuelle, ça nous donne un score pour partir en équipe. Alors, oui, évidemment, ça compte. C'est quelque chose que tu veux essayer de partir au moins dans les 7 premières équipes ou de ne pas être très loin de points que tu gardes avec toi. Alors oui, à la fin, ça compte. Quand la Coupe des Nations se saute assez bien et qu'il y a beaucoup de sans faute, aujourd'hui fera la différence. Maintenant, si les 2 jours de Coupe des Nations sont très, très durs, peut-être que les résultats d'aujourd'hui, on peut avoir. Mais je crois pour le moral de l'équipe et pour tout, c'est très important d'avoir un bon départ.
Si on retourne quelques années en arrière, avant 2008, etc., les analystes, les commentateurs en Europe ne pensaient pas toujours au Canada quand ils faisaient leurs pronostics. Maintenant, ils pensent au Canada. Michel Robert, par exemple, sur la télévision française ce matin, disait « Attention, les Canadiens, c'est une équipe très forte ». Est-ce que c'est quelque chose qui porte ou c'est quelque chose qui pèse sur les épaules?
Non, c'est quelque chose que... Bon, on est maintenant... on est 3 Canadiens qui font beaucoup de concours en Europe, alors on est devenu un peu des Canadiens européens, comme j'appelle. Alors, et puis Yann Miller, avec toute l'expérience qu'il a, alors on est quand même habitué maintenant au sport en Europe. À l'époque, on venait seulement en Europe pour les championnats et très peu faire les autres concours, mais maintenant, ça a changé.
Merci et bonne chance pour la suite. Becky, here we are. Things have started this morning. What's your feeling right now?
I'm really excited. We've had a fantastic go at the squad competition, first ever squad from Canada. Everything went really well for them. I've never seen them vault so well, actually. And the individuals, yes, we have 2 very strong individuals. And I think that Canada has really represented herself very well with these vaulters. I'm excited and I'm very proud of them. It's fantastic.
It is the first time that there are so many Canadian vaulters in World Equestrian Games. How do you explain this increase of athletes?
Well, it's amazing. We've had 1 or 2 Canadian vaulters in all the equestrian games since the beginning. But now finally we have enough of the younger ones that have come up to be at the top level. They've pushed through. We have better horses, we have more coaches, and we're just starting to really push forward and make this sport something that Canada can be particularly involved with, and we just love it. It's great, and we continue to try and make people in Canada aware. Many people have never heard of it, but we do demonstrations, we do competitions, and more people are becoming excited, and more young ones are coming in. So hopefully we'll be able to take them through to the top as well.
You were talking about the horses. There is a little handicap when you come from another continent at the World Equestrian Games because you cannot compete with your usual horse. How does it work?
Well, this is true. It's a little frustrating for us because we want to be able to make a partnership with the horse. Our horses are getting better, but at the moment they're not worth flying abroad. It's very expensive. So we make partnerships with other countries who have good horses, and throughout the years we've had very good relationships with Germany and Czech Republic, people like that who have horses that they're willing to lease to us. And this year we have, I think for the second time, I think Janine has, our individual Janine Vandersloos, she has used a Scottish horse several times now. And this time we're using 2 Scottish horses, one for our squad and one for Janine and Angelique's pas de deux. As well, it's the same horse that we've just seen. And they're wonderful. They have been terribly kind to us. They have lovely horses, and hopefully we'll be able to make more relationship with them, because it's a little easier for them to get across the channel to Europe.
So I suppose that the vaulters just arrived a few weeks ago, first in Scotland before coming to Normandy, just to know their horses.
Yes. The squad and Janine and Angelique doing their individual and pas-de-deux have been here since pretty much the beginning of August. They were in Scotland. Elisa, who is leasing a German horse, has been in Germany for the past 3 weeks training and getting to know her horse. And she's been really very fortunate. She's very happy with the horse that she's got too. And they've said they've really clicked and made a good partnership. So it's very exciting because we meet so many wonderful people. And hopefully we'll be able to return the favor when we have our Equestrian Games in Canada next time.
I suppose that the level, well, here is very, very high, all right, and especially in Europe. So what are exactly your expectations from this World Equestrian Games?
Oh, that's hard. We want to win. Why would we come otherwise? But we are realistic. Our squad is the first time we've ever put a squad together even. They've done very well. I'm thrilled that I think currently we're in the 12th position. That's met most of our expectations. Obviously we'd like to be higher, but realistically this is a good place for us. Individually, yes, I think that we need to be somewhere in the top sort of 2/3 would be nice. The girls have worked very hard. They've been very consistent in their training, and we hope that they will do well. But I can't predict because, as you say, it's more of a sport here in Europe. They have competitions every weekend practically. We have 4 in Canada every year.
That was my other question, because it must be, well, it is quite difficult to train at highest level in Northern America and in Canada even more than in the States.
It is. In the States they have way more competitions, they have more vaulters. They've been vaulting a bit longer than we have, and they've been very helpful to us. They really have, and we use their judges. We're getting to the point where we need to bring judges from Europe, so that's getting more and more common. But most of the higher athletes, in order to qualify, they need to do the CVIs in the States. Many of them, well, the many that we have, which isn't that many, will go to Europe 2 or 3 times to get some qualifying scores. And in Canada, again, for the first time, we've had 2 CVI. Well, we had a CVI this spring. We're planning a second one. We tried to do an alternate CVI with the United States, but they're starting to have more as well. So Canada is beginning to follow suit. It's a struggle because we're still quite small, and it's costly at this level to bring over judges and put on a CVI. But we're doing it, and hopefully we'll continue to do it.
And obviously at the moment it seems that vaulting in Canada takes place more in the west part than in the east one.
Yes, it really does. And actually that's a terrible shame because we would like it to be everywhere. And we have quite a lot of vaulting in British Columbia and in Alberta, a little bit in Saskatchewan, and Quebec will have a little bit, but in Ontario I think it would be much, much bigger, but we haven't been able to get round the helmet law, which is a big controversial subject, so perhaps not to get into it here, but they can't compete because their federation has this rule that you have to be vaulting on a horse, or you have to be on a horse with a hard hat and boots with a heel, which of course is totally foreign to vaulters. And no matter how hard we try, they haven't seen fit to relax that law. So until that happens, Ontario has to go to Quebec.
Yann, on va évacuer la question tout de suite parce qu'on a dû vous la poser 10 millions de fois. Alors, le fait de revenir ici en étant à la base normand, d'origine française, et là avec des Jeux mondiaux qui se courent en Normandie et porter les couleurs du Canada, ça doit être un sentiment quand même particulièrement fort.
Ouais, c'est un moment magique. C'est que les championnats du monde ou les championnats majeurs sont toujours des grands moments. Mais de le faire devant la famille, c'est toujours mieux.
Vous êtes un sacré voyageur parce que quand on regarde votre parcours, vous avez été en Asie, maintenant vous êtes au Canada. Qu'est-ce qui vous a amené en fait à pas rester ici comme la plupart de vos copains cavaliers parce que finalement en Normandie, il y a de quoi faire?
C'est les opportunités. J'ai eu la chance d'avoir un très bon ami à moi, Nicolas Payot, qui m'avait trouvé un travail au Japon quand j'étais plus jeune. Et avec l'expérience, j'ai toujours continué à voyager.
Alors maintenant, on va parler de l'actualité de ces championnats du monde, de ces Jeux mondiaux. Pour l'instant, c'est quand même un début absolument carton, comme on dit en France.
Oui, l'idée générale est l'équipe. Après, mon score tout de suite est parfait. Je passais en premier à chaque fois, ça s'est bien déroulé. Mais l'idée générale, c'est l'équipe. Donc le résultat final sera basé là-dessus. Donc si on a un bon résultat en groupe, on sera heureux. Sinon, ça faudra recommencer une autre fois.
Et justement, le fait de passer comme ça, d'abord le premier de l'équipe et ensuite parmi les tout premiers concurrents, ça fait qu'on n'a pas forcément beaucoup de repères, on n'a pas eu le temps de voir les autres cavaliers. C'est un petit handicap quelque part.
C'était un handicap pour le premier jour parce que l'épreuve de vitesse, après, c'est couru beaucoup plus vite. Donc c'était un petit peu difficile d'avoir des repères. Et j'ai juste essayé de faire un bon score qui a d'ailleurs été après un petit peu lent. Pour aujourd'hui, pas vraiment. Ça enlève aussi les distractions parce qu'on a un plan et on essaye de l'exécuter. Donc c'est un petit peu différent. Le premier jour, c'était un désavantage. Sûrement qu'aujourd'hui, c'était un avantage.
Puis maintenant, on va juste parler de Showgirl parce que Showgirl, ça fait à peu près 1 an qu'elle est dans vos écuries. Un peu plus d'1 an, c'est courant 2013, je crois. Et puis, elle est venue dans vos écuries pour ça, pour ce moment-là qu'on est en train de vivre finalement aujourd'hui. Et bon, même si c'est pas fini, avec le départ qu'elle fait, on peut presque déjà dire contrat rempli.
Le contrat n'est jamais rempli jusqu'à la fin. D'ailleurs, c'est un très bon départ. Maintenant, Showgirl, on l'a acquéri après Barcelone, qui était la finale de la Coupe du Monde, qui était montée par un compatriote. Et on a eu la chance de pouvoir l'acquérir à ce moment-là. On a eu un groupe de propriétaires qui ont investi dans la jument pour faire les championnats du monde. Maintenant, ça devient une belle histoire parce que souvent, on essaye d'aller aux championnats du monde, mais on n'y arrive pas. Cette année, tout s'est très bien déroulé, donc on est très ravis.
Merci beaucoup, puis on continue de croiser les doigts pour que ça aille bien comme ça pour vous. Merci. Alors notre enthousiasme, notre euphorie aura été tout de même de courte durée, puisque Tiffany Foster et Verdi ont eux commis 2 fautes sur le parcours. La première à la rivière est sans doute perturbée par cette faute à la rivière, quelques obstacles plus loin sur un vertical. Tiffany nous en parle. Tiffany, you had a very good start yesterday, and I should say that you had a good start today till the water jump. What happened exactly at the water jump?
I think I was thinking a little bit about the time. I thought that was a place that I could make up a bit of time, and I just turned too tight, and then I ended up a little bit in between 2 distances, and I opted for the bigger one just because of the size of the water, and I was just too far away for him to make it.
And 2 or 3 fences later, was it the upright, the Land Rover upright? Okay, you had another fall.
Yeah, I mean, I think a little bit my horse it needs to be a little bit smooth around in order for him to be able to concentrate. And I think the water kind of got him a little bit undone. I was able to sort of hold it together for the next 2 jumps, but I think by that jump that I had down, he was still a little bit flat. And then I had to kind of reel it in a little for the last line. I thought he jumped really well. It was really my mistake.
So I suppose that when you just saw the course for the first time, when you walked the course, you were quite confident.
Yeah, except for the water, because it's terrible when it's on a turn.
Is he used to this kind of fall? Is he used to this kind of falls, Verdi, with the water jump?
No, he's not. I am, but he usually does it well. It's usually always my fault.
Okay, there is a second round tomorrow. So do you think that you will deal differently this second round?
Yes, I definitely hope so. I think we have a great team, a very strong team. I know the other guys are going to be good later, and hopefully I can redeem myself tomorrow.
Thank you very much. Après Tiffany et Verdi, c'est au tour de Captain Canada, Ian Miller, à s'élancer sur la piste avec son cheval Dixon. Alors là, vous le savez, dans une Coupe des Nations, on ne retient que les 3 meilleurs scores. Donc, il faut maintenant effacer le score de Tiffany et de Verdi, faire mieux que 8 points. Ian Miller avait évidemment pour objectif de faire le sans faute. Malheureusement, un petit antérieur va traîner et il sera victime d'une pénalité, donc 4 points de pénalité qui maintenant s'ajouteront au score de l'équipe. Yann, nous l'avons retrouvé lui aussi à l'issue de son parcours. Nous sommes revenus sur cette faute, mais surtout nous avons parlé du parcours en général, du chef de piste français Frédéric Cottier, et nous avons même parlé d'avenir avec Captain Canada. Ian, I suppose there is just a little bit of disappointment for you after this first round of the Nation Cup, no?
Yeah, quite a lot of disappointment, as a matter of fact. And it's not that I'm disappointed with the horse. The horse, it was the only thing he touched, and these things happen. We're asking these horses to do a remarkable thing, and he really, really tried his best. It's not that he didn't let me down at all. Where the disappointment comes is how it affects our overall team. Because even if our last rider, Eric Lamaze, goes clean, we're obviously still on 4 faults. Tiffany had some bad luck. And in this competition, you can't afford to give an inch or a millimeter or whatever. I mean, they're going to get you. They're too sharp, and there's too much quantity of quality.
You've ridden many Nation Cup in your life. What do you think about the design of this one?
Well, Frederic Cottier is unbelievable. I remember when he used to ride a horse called Flambeau. It was one of my most favorite horses, and he was brilliant on him. And now he's taken the next step, and he seems to be as fantastic a course designer as he was a rider. And he's doing it with subtleties. I mean, it's certainly big enough, but it's not crazy. He's not getting us with extreme size. He's getting us with the speed that we have to go, the visual, the subtle distances, the carefulness, the whole thing. He's not missing a trick. I'm very impressed with his work.
We talked a little bit with Frédéric about the course for tomorrow. Aha!
What did he say?
Normally, no water, but new fences. Are you confident?
Yeah, no, that's good. And is it going to affect this quality of horse again? I probably will, actually, because he had a really good visual today. The jump that I had down with the rooster on one side, and that was a tricky visual. Number 3 was tough. The one after the triple combination. I mean, there was a number of them. As you galloped over, you were waiting for your horse to really lock on and see what he was seeing, know what he was seeing. And that's what they try to achieve with these jumps. And I'm sure, yeah, he'll have some tricks up his sleeve.
All right, but for tomorrow, he may change his mind, all right?
Again, he's going to watch what goes on today and then fine-tune his plan. That's what any course designer would do.
To prepare the World Equestrian Games, you mainly stayed in Northern America, Spruce Meadows, Canada, or Wellington in Florida. Some of the other riders, the US team, for example, goes to Europe. Why did you stay in Northern America?
Well, I did come and jump at Dublin, but I didn't do as much as many did. And I don't know, it's the invitations are hard to come by. Sometimes it's obviously very financially challenging. And I would tell you that Spruce Meadows has done our sport in Canada a tremendous service, because we go there and we jump in several rings, different courses, the top course designers in the world. The competition is very tough, so you jump high and wide and go fast. And what I would tell you is, if you can jump in Spruce Meadows, you can jump pretty much anywhere in the world. So back in the day, again, we had to come to Europe to prepare. Now, between Wellington and Spruce Meadows, you can be reasonably ready. I think where Europe really comes to play is for some of the less experienced riders' minds, so they get here and they get a comfort level. You know, I've done it enough that I get here and I have a comfort level. But if you're young or new at it, you're going to get here and you're going to see all these people and all these horses, and you're going to think, oh my God, and that risks taking away.
You competed in the very first Olympics in Canada, in Montreal, 1976, sorry. Will you compete in the very first World Equestrian Games in Bromont?
I'm sort of planning up to Brazil, and then I'll take a look at the whole thing, and it'll depend on horsepower and various other things, and if I'm still in one piece and so on and so forth. But I mean, if I'm still enjoying it and I'm still doing it as well as I do it, I'll for sure keep going.
C'est maintenant le tour de notre dernier couple à prendre le départ, Éric Lamaze et Zigali. Pour eux, l'objectif est simple. Il faut absolument réaliser le sans faute si on veut pouvoir encore progresser au classement et garder pleines toutes nos chances de médaille. Malheureusement, ils n'y parviendront pas. Ils vont commettre une seule faute sur l'un des obstacles les plus fautifs d'ailleurs de ce parcours, le double. Bon, Eric, il y a eu ce 4 points sur ce parcours. Malgré tout, il y avait eu quelques sursis avant que la faute arrive à l'entrée du double. Il y avait eu une ou deux touches. Est-ce que c'est juste que Zigali était un petit peu moins en forme aujourd'hui?
Non, je crois qu'il a bien sauté. C'est une grande atmosphère pour lui. Il a peu d'expérience avec une foule si intense. Je crois qu'il a très bien sauté. J'ai pas trop aimé cette ligne dès ce matin quand j'ai dû la marcher pour lui. Mais bon, c'est de l'expérience. Je crois qu'il va l'apprendre en le faisant. Si la ligne est là demain, je crois qu'il aura bien appris son parcours. Et puis, j'espère que demain, on va tenir le coup et mettre des sans faute et remonter par équipe.
Oui, parce qu'il y a deux enjeux. C'est sûr qu'on vient ici quand même pour une médaille, hein, pas juste pour faire de la figuration, mais il y a en plus une qualification pour les Jeux Olympiques qu'on cherche.
Exactement. Alors, on va essayer. C'est très dur où on est en ce moment dans le classement, mais bon, on va voir. De toute façon, il reste les derniers cavaliers à passer. Jusqu'à temps que ça soit fini, on ne sait pas, mais d'après moi, de toute façon, on va être dans les 10 meilleures équipes pour retourner et on ne va pas être si loin dans notre score. On a quand même juste 8 points aujourd'hui en 3 cavaliers avec 6 points hier, ça fait 14. D'après moi, bon, on ne va pas être si loin de la vérité non plus.
Puis il y a une raison d'être satisfait quand même, c'est que, je vais dire, votre poulain, Yann, avec Showgirl, eux, ils sont sans faute et pour l'instant, ils font vraiment un championnat remarquable alors que c'est leur première finalement sélection dans une grosse équipe, d'un gros événement majeur comme les Jeux mondiaux.
Oui, on le fait monter très tôt le matin et puis à chaque fois ça paye. Non, mais c'est un bon cavalier, c'est un cheval de beaucoup d'expérience et il a vraiment fait du super boulot. La jument a l'air super en forme. On va encore compter dessus de même pour un autre sans faute.
En tout cas, bonne chance pour demain et merci beaucoup, Eric.